Greetings everyone, this is Arpan, an intern at Intelpa, and in this video we are going to see implementation of convolutional neural network in PyTorch. So let us begin. So this lecture has been divided into 4 parts. First we are going to load our data, then we are going to perform some data pre-processing, then we are going to perform our modeling for CNN, and then at last we are going to train. So let us begin with loading of data. So we will be loading a dataset from Kaggle. So this dataset is apparently apparel's dataset. So this dataset comprises images of 10 different types, and we will be training this dataset in order to classify them. Once I have loaded my Kaggle.json API, then I will download my data, and then I am going to unzip my data which I have downloaded. Then I am going to import some of the basic libraries, which is NumPy and Pandas. So now we have downloaded our data and successfully unzipped it. So let us see how our data looks. So you can see there are two folders, test and train. The test folder contains another folder, test, which comprises of our test images, and a test CSV, which is a CSV file representing each of images, and a test.csv, which has the name of all the images in the test folder. Similarly, we have a train folder in which inside the train folder we have the images which we are going to train, and then train.csv, which consists of the name and the class respectively. So let us load our train.csv. So I will just copy its path and I will paste it over here. Now let us view our data. So you can see that ID represents to the image number and the label represents the class of our images. So you can see there are 10 classes belonging to our dataset. So we have to classify our images into 10 different categories. So let us begin. We will read all the images one by one and stack them over the other in an array. We will also divide the pixels of images by 255 so that the pixel values of the images come in the range 0 to 1. That is, we are normalizing them. This helps in optimizing the performance of our model. So let us begin. So for this I am going to import two libraries from TQDM, import TQDM, and to read the images I am going to call skimages.io. Once this is done, I am going to create an array to store all the images. Now we have to run a loop to go through all the images, normalize them, and store them in an array. So let us begin. For image name in TQDM train ID. So what this is going to do, it is going to each of the name in the ID, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will go through them one by one. Next we are going to define our image path. So image path will be equal to the address of our images. So our images will be in this train folder. So I will just copy this path plus string of image name which is present in this CSV file plus the extension of our image which is .png. So image path is a string which will hold the address of our images. Next we are going to read by using the imread from skimage.io. Image is equal to imread. Then I am going to define the path which is image path, and then I am going to get this images as black and white, so as gray equal to true, that is I'm going to grayscale all our images. Next we are going to normalize our pixel. So for normalizing, image is equal to image by 255, so this would normalize our images. Next I am going to convert the type of pixels to float, so image equal to, then I'm going to stack the image to the training set, so I'm going to use append. So train image is of an array, and then I'm going to append each images that we have just now processed. So now I can see that our process has been started. So this would take some time depending upon your CPU power. So once this is done, then we are going to jump into data pre-processing. So this process is done. Now let us jump into data pre-processing. In data pre-processing, first we have to convert the list that we have just now created into a NumPy array. So train x equal to and p dot array train img, which is our list. Next we are going to define the train y, which is our target variable, and this will be equal to train, and our target is the label and the values. So let us now just print the shape of our dependent and independent variable. You can see train x has a dimension of 60,000, which is 60,000 images, and then the images are of the size 28,28, and then train y, which is our labels, is also of 60,000. Now let us split our data into training and validation. So we are going to use from sklearn dot model selection, we are going to import train test split. Now let us split our data into training and validation. So train x comma validation x comma train y and validation y is equal to train test split, and inside the parameter would be our train x comma train y and then the split size. So our test size is equal to 0.1. Let us now see the shape of our train x, train y, and validation x and validation y. So now I can see that we have successfully splitted our data into 10%. So next what we are going to do is convert the training images into torch format. I'm going to import first the torch library, then we are going to use from numpy to convert our data into torch format. So before that we have to reshape our images. Train x is equal to train x dot reshape, and inside of this, so inside of reshaping, first we have to give the number of images in the train x, then 1, then the size of our images 28,28, and then we are going to use torch from numpy train x. Similarly for train y, instead of reshaping, we are converting this data type into integer. And then from torch from numpy train y. Once this is done, now let us view the shape of our training data. So you can see that our data has been successfully converted into torch tensors. of size 54,001, 2828, and the y dot shape is of tensor size 5400. In the similar way, we are going to convert our validation data into torch format. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it over here. So instead of train x, we have validation x. So I will just paste it over here. And since we have 6,000 validation data, I'm just going to write here 6,000. And then again in train y, I'm just going to replace it with validation y. So we are converting the validation y data into integer type, and then we are going to convert it into torch tensors. Now at last, let us see the shape of our validation data. We have successfully converted our training and validation data into torch tensors. Now let us go into modeling of our convolutional neural network. So we will use a very simple CNN architecture with just two convolutional layers to extract features from the images. We will then use a fully connected dense layer to classify those features into their respective categories. So as usual, we are going to import sequential con2D, which will perform the convolutional operation, then maxpool2D, which will perform the max pooling, then the module feature, then softmax, and then for fully connected layer linear, and then our activation function ReLU, batch normalization 2D, dropout, and then at last cross entropy loss, since we are having 10 different classes. First we are defining our class and then the init constructor. So let us jump into convolutional neural network. So for defining a 2D convolutional layer, first let us see what are the basic input parameters in each of this con2D, maxpool 2D, ReLU, batch normalization 2D. So con2D, the input would be in channels, out channels, kernel size, stride and padding. In batch normalization 2D, so the input features would be the number of features that are in the ReLU activation. We have to just give the input and then in place which can be either true or false. In the maxpool 2D, we have to give the kernel size and then the stride. So here we will be using a sequential container. So modules will be added to it in the order they are passed in the constructor. So we will define a self.cnn layers, which is equal to sequential. Inside the sequential, we will be defining our convolutional neural network, and in the format that we are providing our convolutional neural network, they will be passed in the constructor in that order. So first we are performing a con2D, where the input number of channel is 1 since it is a black and white, and then we are passing out channel will be 4, having a kernel size of 3, stride of 1 and padding of 1. Then batch normalization 2D, here we are giving the input features, so our output features would be 4, so here input feature will be equal to 4. Then ReLU activation layer and then maxpool 2D. Now we will define another convolutional 2D layer. So here our in features will be 4 and our output will be again also 4, and then kernel size will be equal to 3, stride of 1, padding of 1, and similarly batch normalization 2D, ReLU and maxpool 2D. Next we are going to define our linear or fully connected layer. So inside of it we'll again call the sequential container, and inside this container we are passing linear is equal to 4 into 7 into 7 neurons, and our output would be 10, which signifies 10 different classes of in our data. Then we would define our forward pass. We are forward passing our data into the CNN layers, and then we are reshaping it, and then we are again passing it to the fully connected layer in order to classify it. So our forward pass would return the class of which our image represent. Now let us define our optimizer and loss function. So for optimizer, I would be using stochastic gradient descent. For optimizer, here I would be using Adam optimizer from torch.optim import Adam, which will import the Adam optimizer. Next, we are going to define our model. So model is equal to, so model will be equal to the name of our class, which is net. And then we are going to define the optimizer. So optimizer is equal to Adam, and inside of it the parameters would be model dot parameters and then the learning rate. So here we would be giving learning rate as 0.01. Next we are going to define our loss function criterion, which would be equal to cross entropy loss, and here we would be training our data in GPU. So for checking if GPU is available or not, I will write if torch.CUDA is available. So it will check if GPU is available or not. So if GPU is available, model equal to model.CUDA, and then our loss criterion is equal to criterion.CUDA. Now at last we will print our model. So first we are going to train our model in CPU, and then at last I will be showing you how to train our model in GPU and how much faster our model trains while on GPU. So I am just going to print our model now. So print model. So now you can see our architecture of our CNN layers, of how it would be training and passing through one of them one by one, and then at last our linear feature, our in features would be 196, and then our output would be 10, which represents our number of classes. Now the training part. So for training, I'm going to call from torch dot autograd import variable. Once this is done, now let us define a training architecture. So for train, and the input would be the number of epochs that we want to train. Inside of it, so we would first call model.train, and then we would define our training loss, which will be equal to 0. Next, for getting the training set, training model xtrain and ytrain, which will be equal to variable train x, variable train y. So similarly, we would be getting our validation set. So instead of xtrain, we would be having x validation, and instead of ytrain, we would be having y validation. So this would convert, so this would get our training set and validation set for training. Once this is done, if GPU is available, we have to convert our data into GPU format. So again, I would be just copying this. If GPU is available, then xtrain would be equal to xtrain.CUDA, and then similarly for ytrain, x validation, y validation. So once we are done with this process, now let us train our data. First we will be clearing the gradients of the model parameters. So for this we would be calling optimizer.zeroGrad. So first we would be clearing the gradients of our model, and then for prediction for our training and validation set, I would be calling output train, which will be equal to model, which is our CNN, and then inside of it our data X train. And similarly for validation, our output would be output validation, and our data would be X validation. Next we are going to compute the training and validation loss. So loss in training would be equal to criterion, and inside of it our predicted value, which is output train, and then our actual values, which is Y train. Similarly, loss for validation will be equal to loss validation. Our predicted value for output validation is output val, and then our actual values is Y val. So once we have calculated this loss, then we are going to append this loss in an array. So once this is done, at last we would be computing the updated weights of all the parameters. So for this we would perform backward propagation of our loss, y loss, so loss train dot backward, and then optimizer dot step to update our parameters, and then our training loss would be equal to loss train dot item, and we would append this loss into an array. Then at last we are going to print our model as it goes through each epoch. So for that I will be adding for epoch percentile 2 double equal to 0. So what this will do is for every 2 epoch we are going to print our validation loss and the number of epoch. So print epoch, which will be equal to the number of epoch. Since it will start from 0, we are just going to give it +1, and then let us give a space of a tab, and then again our loss, which will be equal to loss validation dot item. So once this is done, let us load our train. Next we are going to define the number of epoch that we want, which will be equal to, let's say, 25, and then an empty list to store the training losses, train losses as an empty array, and then again validation losses to store the validation losses. Let us now finally train our data. For epoch in range, the number of epochs that we want, which is 25, we would be running through each epoch. So before training of our data, make sure that we have to just make a correction over here. So instead of X validation, we have to write validation X and then validation Y. So that was a mistake from my side. So once that is done, now we are ready to train our model. So you can see that our model starts training. Since we are using GPU, which you can see from here, since we are none as an hardware accelerator, we are using a GPU. So our epochs are going very slowly. Now I'm just going to terminate this. I will change my runtime to GPU. And then I'm going to run all these steps once again to show you that how faster our model trains while we are computing on GPU. So Now this process would take some time for loading of our data and then all other process. So once the training start, I will resume my video once again. So now we have to make just a small adjustment. Since we have already named a data frame train, so we can't define another function with name train again. So that is why I'm going to rename this function as train CNN, and then I'm going to run this process, and then again I'm going to change it over here. So train CNN epoch. So everything remains the same, just we have to change the name. So let us run our model in GPU. So you can see that our model runs much faster in comparison to CPU. So this is the way you can perform image classification using GPU in PyTorch. So once this is done, now let us check the accuracy of our model in training and validation set. For this, I'm going to call from sklearn.metrics import accuracy score. Then with prediction with the training set, our output would be equal to model. Since we are working with GPU, this will be equal to trainx dot CUDA, and then our softmax, which will be equal to torch dot. Now let us define our accuracy score. So accuracy score, and the input we will pass the actual value, which is train y, and then our predictions. So you can see that we have an accuracy of 84%, which is pretty decent. You can improve the score by tuning other hyperparameters, adding more convolutional neural network, increasing the number of channels and all. So that is all up to you. Now let us see our prediction or accuracy in test set or validation set. So I'm just going to copy this. So instead of train X, we are going to have validation X, and then this softmax and probability would all be the same. And then in the accuracy score, we are going to have validation Y. So we have an accuracy in the validation set of 84.78, which is pretty decent. And you can see that our model also didn't overfit. So this was a pretty decent model. So with this, we come to an end to our lecture of training CNN in PyTorch. So in this lecture, we saw how to load data, convert them into torch tensors, then define our model, then our loss and optimizer, the training process with and without GPU, and then at last we show about the accuracy score in both training and validation set. Hope you all like this lecture. Thank you.